This Wednesday morning, a lot of times at 9 o'clock, we make things that you couldn't necessarily eat for breakfast. But did you know that it's National Breakfast Month? Here to help us out with some recipes, Charlene Patton with the Kansas Soybean Commission. Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me. And I think these recipes are going to be in your favorite box. I love the way these two go together. And you know, when we think about breakfast, it might be brunch, it might be an early lunch, and a lot of times you might have breakfast for an easy meal. So tuck this recipe away because I think it'll be a favorite. We're going to start out with the cornmeal muffins. And I love this recipe. And as you mentioned, Allison, besides going with this recipe, it would be great with chili. It would be great with any other dish because there's just something about having that hot bread that adds that extra little special touch when you're having a meal.
For sure.
These are easy to make. I have 1 cup of cornmeal here, and I have 1 cup of our soy flour blend. And just to remind people, the soy flour blend is a cup of soy flour that we sifted with 7 cups of all-purpose flour. And then put that in your flour canister and you can use it for everything. Now you're going to help me add these ingredients, and while we're mixing that, Allison, you're going to do our liquid ingredients. And this is 1 1/4 cups of soy milk, and we have an egg and our vegetable oil there. So we'll let you put that in there and whisk it together. And then, put the egg in here. And then the vegetable oil. Sorry, that's okay. Too many instructions there. Okay, and you're going to add the sugar. We have 1/4 cup of sugar here that we're going to add into this.
So this is dry ingredients.
These are the dry ingredients.
All right.
And we have our 4 teaspoons of baking powder and our salt, so you can add those. And this is a typical quick bread recipe where you mix the dry ingredients, then you mix the liquid ingredients.
1/4 teaspoon salt, and these recipes are available online, so we'll get that information to you right after. But follow along here as we also add a 1/2 cup of bell peppers to add a little sweetness to it.
It is, and you could, I don't know, do you like spicy things? Because you could use jalapeno peppers a little bit, add a little bit more flavor to it and a little bit of spiciness. And I like to add the peppers now because you can see that coats them and separates them for our mixture. Now you're going to add all of our liquid ingredients. And when you do this, this keeps you from over mixing because if you've ever had muffins that have holes and tunnels in them, which we don't like to have, it's a lot of times because you've over mixed it. So by mixing the dry ingredients and then the liquid ingredients, then we're just going to mix that until we don't see any dry ingredients anymore, and then we stop. And then we're going to put that in our muffin pan, and you can put little paper liners in there, or you could just grease it really well and put them in there. Fill it about 2/3 full, and then bake that at 375 for about 20 to 25 minutes. Take a wooden little pick and check and make sure they're done. But you can see they're nice and golden brown. And they would be a great out-the-door snack. If you're hungry before you come to work, Sean, you could grab that muffin or give it to the kids when they come home from school, too.
Or if I'm hungry right now, toss me a muffin there, Allison. Now, Charlene, when you were mixing this here, sometimes with pancake batter and stuff like that, you kind of leave it lumpy. On this one, or do you?
Well, you just want to mix it till you don't see any dry ingredients. So, yes, it's a little bit different technique than with the pancakes. But other than that, it's easy and a great recipe that kids could do because we're just mixing, we're not using a lot of electrical equipment, and so one of those recipes that's good for them to help make, and then they'll want to make it and try it too.
I do want to make it. Good deal.
That sounds awesome. Something you could use for a lot of different meals, a staple that you could really just use in your kitchen for a lot of things. Charlene, tell us where we can find this recipe.
It's at kansassoybeans.org, and we have a whole section on recipes there. You'll see we have National Breakfast Month, so I even put the recipe that we did last month with the French vanilla donuts that everybody loves so well, and I thought that was that winning recipe, and I thought, okay, I'll tuck that in there because that's kind of a breakfast recipe too.
That's
so
great.
If they didn't get it last month, it's listed there too.
Okay, Charlene, tell us what we're going to be making in our next segment coming up a little bit later in the show.
I love this. It's the enchilada breakfast casserole. Super easy to make, but it goes great with our muffins, and I'm sure one that you guys are going to really enjoy.
Absolutely. Can't wait to make that here in just a little bit. Charlene Patton with the Kansas Soybean Commission, thank you so much.
We'll
be right back after the break. Stay with us.
Botanica coming up there. We see some flowers. We'll be talking to them.